Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's yoga practice is short and sweet, lower body focused. I'm just going to use 2 blocks to hold onto a little bit, but you can find some space to move and let's get started. All right, so we are going to begin on our knees. I have got my blocks today just to hold onto. Makes moving around just a little bit easier, but you don't need them. So we're on our knees. We're going to tuck our toes under, wake up our feet. A nice lovely toe squat. At any time we're leaning forwards or anything like that, you can always press into your blocks, into the ground. Take some weight out of the toes or not. But stretching the bottom of each and every toe. If your baby toes get left behind, just give them some help. So you can sit back on your heels. Rest your hands in your lap. You could also lean forwards a little bit and either push into the ground or push into your blocks and see if the knees will lift. And then you can sneak out of the toe squat as you try to drop your heels down to stretch your ankles. And then we're going to bring our knees down. If you've got them lifted, you can come out of your toe squat. So untuck them, rest on the top of the feet, give them a nice little tap or shake against the ground. We're going to move our right foot forward so we end up in a lunge. Again, move the blocks as you would like to move the blocks, sinking into your hips to feel that left hip flexor. Take a moment. Open up that left hip. We're going to be sending our hips back, just lengthening our front leg. So move the blocks if you'd like. Straighten the front leg as best you can. You can push your toes down or point them up. Half splits getting into our hamstring here. Drop your chest towards your knee if you want some more. Just another breath here. And then we're going to bend back into our front knee a little bit, coming to our lunge, but just so that we can tuck our back toes under. And then we're going to send our hips back again. Half splits, but the toes, the back toes are trying to be tucked under. Maybe you had them tucked under the first time. But we can stay here, straight through the front leg, hips lifted, or we can start to scooch ourselves back and try to sit on our heel. Then this front leg can either bend, or you might just bend it just to get a little bit more comfortable on your back heel. And then you can also send it back out, keeping a nice soft bend through the knee though, by pointing the toes up. And then yes, we are going to keep it a little bit bent, but you could also lean forwards. Stretch the leg, forget about your toes. Awesome work, you guys. Take another breath or two. And we're going to shift our body weight all the way forwards so that we end up back in our lunge. If your toes are tucked under, untuck them so you're on the top of the foot. You might want a little bit of a shake, a little bit of tap against the ground. And then we're going to switch sides. So you can bring your right leg back into tabletop, or you can sit back on your heels, however you want to switch to the other side. If the blocks are useful, bring them up to the top. Left foot's coming forwards, and we're in a nice, simple lunge. Sinking into that right hip flexor. Another breath here, and we can send our hips back. just for a half split. You could still be on the top of that back foot, thinking only about your left leg right now. Maybe pointing the toes up, maybe dropping the chest towards your knee. Awesome work, you guys. We can start to shift our weight forwards again, coming into our lunge a little bit. Can you tuck your back toes under? Can you send your hips back to that half split again? Maybe there is a difference here with the toes tucked versus on the top of the foot. And feel free to stay in your half splits with the hips lifted off of that back heel, or try to sit on down with those toes tucked under. And you can bend the left leg just to set things up a little bit better. Hold on to the blocks if you'd like or not. And then maybe you're sending your left leg back out long, but keeping a nice little bend through the knee, pointing the toes up. How does this foot feel compared to the other one? This is my fun side. The other side wasn't too bad, but yes, I can feel my right foot very much. If you want to lean forwards, lean forwards. Breathe. Awesome work, you guys. We're going to slowly shift our weight forwards again. Back into a lunge of sorts. Untuck those back toes, give them a shake, give them a tap. And then you can find your way back either to tabletop, your hands and your knees, or you can sit back on your heels again, both of them on the top of the feet. So no more toe squats, but you can sit back, you could lean back, and maybe your knees will float. Feeling the top of the ankles, maybe up into the shins, and again, just forgetting about the toes. Awesome work, you guys. Let the knees come down if you've got them lifted. Feel free to go back to tabletop to shake out the ankles, but that is it. That is all for today. So thank you for joining us. Until next time, namaste.